We've also added some enhancements in Inventor 2013 for parameters. One of the first things we've done is change the way the dialog box behaves. One is that it will remember the size, but it will also remember what's visible in here. So if I close this and go back in, it'll have the same footprint and it'll display the same amount of information that it did before. Previous versions did not have this capability. Also, I can use both Boolean and text strings within text now. So if I go and let's say change this to false, I can see this change take place right away. If I go back and say that I don't want that to take place right away, I can turn off the immediate update as always. But again, this will go through into text string. And this can be done within a part or a drawing. That information will be present in both. Another enhancement to 2013 is the ability to actually edit the text within a sketch just with a double click. So on the side of this we see that there's some text information as an emboss. Now I cannot go through and double click the text yet, but I have to go and do it just within the sketch. So we haven't changed the workflow. I can still do a right click and edit, but we've enhanced it slightly just by double clicking on it. I go and change this string. And it will have updated that part. Another nice improvement within the part modeling environment is the ability to interactively select and place the end of part marker. So currently, if I didn't want a specific group of features, I'd have to scroll to the bottom, press and drag the end of part marker, and move it up someplace. And we had a user that works in the medical industry making plastic metal parts, anything that's very clean, smooth, and he would wind up with 200, 300, 500, sometimes 1,000 features in his browser. And it was just extremely difficult for him to scroll down, grab the end of part marker, and drag it up. So what we came up with is something like this. So if I do not want to see this fillet nor any other feature beneath it, I can do a right click on it and select Move End of Part Marker. What will happen, anything that was beneath that is automatically suppressed. I can move the end of part marker to the bottom very quickly, and I can move it to the top very quickly just by doing a right mouse click any place in the browser over nothing and selecting that. Again, I can go up to something as high as this, right click, move end of part marker. See that whoever modeled this years ago. And if I move all the way back down to the bottom, say just near here, right click, move end of part marker. Again, it takes a little bit more time because it's reordering the feature, but again, the same thing holds true. And if I want everything back to normal, I'm going to say move it to the end. And all features will be regenerated. One slight change we made in Inventor 2013 is the location of open drawing. As opposed to it being in the root context menu as it was before, it's now under Component and in its context menu. If the file exists, it'll open it up. Otherwise, it'll just bring up the open drawing dialog box asking for the user to find the file. Another enhancement we've added is the capability of doing a right click on dimension text and selecting Find in Browser. Now, before, you've been able to do a right click on this sketch and Find in Browser, but we didn't have the capability of actually doing a right click on the dimension text itself and selecting Find in Browser. But now that works as well. You'll also see something else that's new over in the browser. In the upper left-hand corner of this particular sketch, you'll see that there's a little thumbtack, or push pin, if you will. Also, you'll see that it states it's fully constrained. So if the sketch is not constrained, it will not have that, and it will not report back fully constrained. Also, there is a graphical difference between a fully constrained sketch in color and one that's not. Another capability we've added for Inventor 2013 is the ability to do a window select when creating and placing holes. Normally, if I wanted to go and take this framework, I had to go and pick each individual node at the intersection or endpoints. But with a window method, I can go and just select where I want. Inventor recognizes the nodes as before, and I can just go and apply that. Much easier. Another aspect that continues to be improved in 2013 is the wiki help. So we started doing this in 2012. So if I'm in 2012, and I'll just select F1, it's going to try to take me to the 2013 site, which again doesn't exist yet. Instead, it's going to default back to the 2012 wiki page. The nice thing about this, it's a live site. People can place new information there all the time. It will never be out of date. If for some reason you do not have an internet connection, or for security purposes they have disabled that, you can go to this site when it's released and download the help file. So it's www.autos.com/inventor-2013-help-download. If I do that right now, it's going to take me to the 2012 site with all the information there. It's in a couple of different languages. There's also tutorial files the user can download as well. One UI change we've made for 2013 is the construction environment is now disabled by default. If the user wants that on, then go to Options, go to the Part tab, Enable Construction Environment, and I have just a small little JT file here, and I'll make sure that Import into Repair Environment is turned off. I'll open it up, and I'll get the other interface instead of the repair environment. One aspect of the marking menus we've tried to improve upon is the consistent location of the OK, Apply, and Cancel. So if I go inside Inventor and let's just say place a constraint, if I do a right click, this Escape, OK, and Apply should be in the same location as if I was in, let's say, this feature. Let's go and edit that and do a right click there. I'll have that same location just for muscle memory. Another improvement for 2013 is the context sensitive marking menu when you're in a sketch. If I do a right click on this line, I can change that to a center line. I cannot, however, do that for a circle since it does not support a centerline line type, so I can make that a construction. And again, same thing here, make that a centerline. So instead of going up to the ribbon and changing it there, I can just in screen on the canvas right click on an object and change its line type from that location.